I am your host, Paula Brandt. Today we're going to be discussing character creation for 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons. We picked this edition because it's what's currently in the stores in 2018. You can buy this in the stores right now. It's a fun version of the game. I did another video about the different versions of D&D and the history. If you'd like to check that out, it'll be on YouTube channel Brandt P23. I made a booklet to explain the different editions of Dungeons & Dragons, and if you'd like a copy of that, you can email me at brandtp23@yahoo.com. The first thing you need for any edition is going to be paper, pencil, dice, character sheet, and your player's handbook. Now, that's any edition. Your game master or your dungeon master running the game is going to be able to help you figure out how to make your character, what level, how much gold you get, things like that. But we're just going to go through the basics of how you can make a character today. So first, take your scrap sheet of paper, and you're going to need your dice. First thing we're going to do is figure out ability scores. These are the things that your character is good at. These are the numbers. Its strength is your natural athleticism or bodily power. Dexterity is reflexes. Balance, physical agility. Constitution is health and stamina. Intelligence is mental acuity, information recall, and analytical skill. Wisdom is awareness, intuition, and insight. And the sixth one, charisma, is confidence, eloquence, and leadership. Some people call charisma etiquette, but that's just an idea. Your ability scores are found on page 13 of your player's handbook. It explains them in detail there. Now, there are 3 different ways to figure out your ability scores. You need to ask your game master how they want you to do it, but these are the 3 ways. Okay, the first way is your dungeon master might pick them for you. He'll say you have 14, 13, 12, 10, 5. The other way, the second way, is to roll dice. And the third way is to use the point buy system. If your dungeon master picks them for you, then that's what you get. I've had dungeon masters tell me you've got low numbers of 13, 12, 11, 9, and so that you've got negatives next to them. Other dungeon masters have given me 18s, which means it's going to be a high-powered game. It's up to the game master. Now, the second way to do this is to roll dice. You're going to take 4 D6. D6 stands for your 6-sided dice. D is short for dice, and 6 is the number of sides it has. So if you have a D20, that's a 20-sided dice. A D12 is a 12-sided dice. You get the picture. So you're going to take 4 6-sided dice. You're going to roll them on the table, and you're going to add the top 3 numbers. Let's say you get a 3, a 2, a 5, and a 1. You're going to add those numbers together, and you're going to get 8, 9, 10. Now, that's one of your 6 ability scores. If your game master says you can re-roll the ones once, and you re-roll that one and you get a 6, now you're going to add your top 3 numbers. 6, 5, and 3 is 14. So now your ability score is 14. If the dungeon master says that you don't re-roll the ones, you're just going to take that 10. But if you re-roll the ones, then you're going to take the top 3 numbers. Now another way, you're going, now that's just one of your scores, one of your 6 ability scores. You're going to roll 6 of those, and you're going to put them where you need them. If you want a strong character, you're going to put a high number in strength. If you want a bowman, you're going to put a higher number in dexterity. The last way to figure out ability scores is the point buy system. So let's use the example on page 13 of the player's handbook. And basically the point buy system is you have a number of points that you can spend to buy your scores. So on page 13, give me a second, the point buy system, like for example, 12 costs 4 points, 13 costs 5 points. Let's say your dungeon master says you've got 27 point buy. That means you've got 27 points to spend on these scores. And then your ability scores and modifiers chart on page 13 is what those scores are going to be. Now when we put these on our character sheet, I have a character sheet here. Let's say the game master told me what scores I get. So I'm going to make, let's see, what do I want to make? I'm going to make a fighter. So I'm going to make his strength high. I'm going to put 18 in his strength. I want him to be able to survive a lot of attacks. So I've got 17. Let's just pretend that I rolled these numbers. And I don't really want him to be a good bowman, so I'm going to put that as a 13. Dexterity, charisma, not very pretty looking, not very fluent. Wisdom, I'll put that at a 14. And then intelligence is going to be a 15. So he's a little smart, he's very strong, very good at surviving attacks. Now the next thing we want to figure out on our character sheet is race. Races start on page 17. You have dwarves, elves, humans, halflings, gnomes, half-elves, half-orcs, tieflings, dragonborn. There are others in other books, but think of it along the lines of Lord of the Rings. You're in medieval times, you've got these vast different types of races. All of those were in Lord of the Rings if you've ever seen that. And I'll let you read those races and pick your own. I'm doing human. So we're going to put human, our human fighter. Human's going to go under race here. Now the next thing we need to decide is what class we're going to be. Classes start on page 45. There's classes like barbarian, fighter, cleric, wizard. The descriptions are in the book. You can pick what you want. I'm going to do fighter. So we're going to put class, fighter, level 1. Okay? Now the next thing, you pick equipment. Equipment is on page 143. It goes by class, and fighter gets 5d4 times 10. So you take your 5 four-sided dice, roll them, add them together, times it by 10. We'll say that I rolled and I got 100. So I've got 100 gold I can spend. And we're going to do this on our scrap sheet of paper. This is why you need paper. So we've got 100 gold we can spend. As we look through the equipment chapter, we're going to subtract. Okay, we're going to say we got full plate armor, and that cost an amount. And we'll put our number here. And we'll just keep going, and then we'll put the extra gold on our sheet where it belongs. It's a good idea to write this stuff on an extra sheet, because that way you know how much you spent, and you can also show your game master this is how you calculated it. So there we have it, a basic fighter for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. Thank you for joining me. Next time we'll pick another role play game and we'll go from there.